All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into something that I think a lot of you have probably thought about at some point,
Hmm.
and that is turning your blog into a book, a published book.
Right.
We're looking at this guide from Mothwalla Media Publications,
Mm.
um, and they lay out this process in these steps.
It's a good guide.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good guide. I mean, I think it's something that so many bloggers dream of,
Right.
having a book,
Yeah,
but it can feel overwhelming. Like, how do you even start?
totally.
This guide makes it seem much more approachable
It
by
does.
using your blog as like the foundation.
Yeah, and the first thing they suggest is actually like
Yeah.
looking at your content that's already there, and they say, what are the topics that are really getting people talking?
Uh-huh.
Which ones are getting the most comments, the most shares?
Yeah, you've already got a built-in audience. You know what they're interested in.
Exactly.
That's valuable information.
Yeah, and they're saying those popular posts are like gold mines.
They are.
And then they talk about how
Yeah.
you can identify themes,
Mhm.
and those can actually become the core message of your book.
Exactly. And the way it's laid out is like,
Yeah,
it helps you pull out those themes that maybe you didn't even realize were there.
it's like threads in
Yeah,
your writing.
exactly.
And they use this example of a self-improvement blog, and they're like, oh, you can have chapters on mindset habits,
Oh,
personal growth.
it's a natural progression,
Yeah, and those are the things people are already coming to your blog for.
Right. And then you can take it deeper in the book format,
Oh, that's interesting.
So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not just like a rehash of your blog post.
Oh,
It's like,
so you're giving people something new.
yeah, you got to give them something new.
So they're not just like, oh, I've read this already.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
maybe you share some personal stories that you haven't shared before.
Oh, I like that.
Or you include some practical exercises, worksheets,
Hmm.
things that people can actually use.
Yeah.
Or even think about getting like a big name in your field to write the foreword.
Ooh, that would be cool.
How cool would that be?
So you're really making it this like
Yeah.
insider, behind the scenes kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're getting this exclusive content.
Okay, so what do you think for our listeners out there?
Yeah.
What do you think in terms of like,
Ooh.
have you ever thought about turning your blog into a book?
It's a good question. I think a lot of people have probably at least considered it.
Yeah.
But have you really sat down and thought about, is there something there?
Right.
Is there a story there that you could tell that would fill a whole book?
Yeah. Tell us in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
What do you think?
What do you think?
I mean, obviously we're not going to go into like self-publishing versus traditional publishing right now.
Right, we'll get to that.
We'll get into all that, but just the idea itself.
Yeah, just the basic idea.
Is there a book in your blog?
Yeah, I think while you guys are thinking about that, let's talk about another key aspect,
Yeah.
which is marketing.
Okay, yeah.
Because as a blogger, you have this huge advantage.
You've already got the audience.
Yeah.
You've already got a built-in audience.
Okay, so you're already ahead of the game.
You're way ahead of the game.
Yeah. So how do we use that to our advantage?
The guide talks about a few different things, like
Yeah.
sharing sneak peeks of the book on your blog,
Okay.
behind the scenes stuff,
Okay.
offering pre-order incentives,
Oh, that's smart.
really building that anticipation.
Getting people excited.
Exactly.
Yeah, I bet a lot of our listeners are already familiar with,
Yeah.
using social media and using their blog
Absolutely.
to promote things.
Yeah.
But have you ever thought about it
Yeah.
in terms of promoting a book?
In terms of a book, yeah.
Tell us about it in the comments.
Let us know what you've done, what's worked for you.
Yeah. And what hasn't worked.
Yeah, exactly. We can all learn from each other.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we'll talk about
More about this process
more about the details.
of turning your blog into a book.
Sounds good. So we were talking about marketing before the break.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting how, marketing used to be something that happened like after the book was written.
Right.
But now it's like
Part of the process.
part of the process from the beginning.
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into that,
Okay.
let's back up a little bit
Okay.
and talk about something that's really important
Okay.
but often overlooked.
Okay, what's that?
Formatting.
Formatting.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things that,
It can be a little dry,
yeah,
but it's super important.
it is. I've definitely
Yeah.
picked up a book and been like, oh, this looks really
Yeah.
unprofessional.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Like whether you're self-publishing or going the traditional route,
Right.
you want your manuscript to look good.
So what do we need to know about formatting?
Well, the guide emphasizes consistency. So like using the same fonts and headings throughout, making sure your page numbers are correct,
Okay.
having a clear table of contents,
Right.
all those little details,
Add up.
they really do. It makes a huge difference for the reader,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, if it's all over the place, it's like,
It's distracting.
yeah.
It takes away from the content.
So they're saying basically like just make it easy for people to read.
Exactly. Make it easy to read, make it look professional.
And then they even talk about like hiring an editor and a formatter.
Yeah, if you really want to take it to the next level.
Okay. What do you think about that?
I mean, it depends on your budget and your skill set.
Right.
If you're really confident in your formatting skills, you might be able to do it yourself.
But if not,
It's probably worth the investment
because
a good editor can catch those little errors that we all miss,
yeah.
and a professional formatter can make sure that your book looks polished and consistent.
It's like having a second set of eyes.
Exactly.
Okay. So we've got the formatting down.
Right.
What about the cover?
Ah, the cover.
That's the first thing people see.
It is, and it's so important.
It's huge.
It can make or break your book.
Really?
Absolutely. A captivating cover can be the difference between someone picking up your book or just scrolling right past it.
So what are they saying about covers?
They're saying invest in a high-quality cover
Okay.
that reflects the theme of your book and your target audience.
It's got to be good.
It's got to be good. It's more than just aesthetics, though.
Okay.
It's a marketing tool.
Oh, okay.
The colors, the fonts, the imagery, it all works together to convey the essence of your book.
It's like visual storytelling.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say you've written the book. You've got it formatted. It looks beautiful. And you've got an amazing cover.
Yeah.
What's next?
Well, now it's time to unleash your book into the world. Drum roll, please.
Okay. Right. Marketing.
Marketing.
We talked about this a little bit.
We talked about how bloggers have a built-in audience.
Right. So we're ahead of the game.
You're ahead of the game. Yeah.
So what are some of the ways we can use that to our advantage?
Well, the guide talks about using your blog to announce the book,
Okay.
offering pre-order incentives, sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses of your writing process,
Right.
really building that buzz.
Yeah. And we talked about social media too.
Social media is huge.
What about you? What have you found that's effective for social media?
Oh, man, there's so much you can do.
Yeah.
But one thing that I've found really works is creating engaging content.
Okay.
Like asking questions, starting conversations,
So it's not just about like,
broadcasting.
broadcasting your message.
Yeah, it's about getting people involved.
Right.
Making it a two-way street.
And what about email marketing?
Oh, email marketing is huge.
Yeah.
It's so important to build an email list
Yep.
and nurture those relationships.
So you can share updates and stuff.
Yeah, you can share updates, offer exclusive content,
Okay.
really build that sense of community around your book.
I've heard a lot of authors say that email is like their most valuable
Oh, yeah.
marketing tool.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
It really is.
So we've gone through, pretty much the whole process
Mhm.
from blog to book.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
Like, assessing whether your blog even has that potential.
Right.
Creating the outline, adding new material, designing a great cover,
Mhm.
all the different ways to publish, and then, of course, marketing.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole journey.
It is. But this guide from Mothlala
Yeah.
really lays it all out there.
It does. It makes it seem much less daunting.
It does. And, it's inspiring too.
It is.
But, we've talked about the how,
Mm-hmm.
like how to do all these things.
Yeah, the practical steps.
But what about the why?
Ah, the why. That's a good question.
Like, why even bother?
Right. It's got to be more than just checking something off a list.
Exactly. Like, what's driving this?
Yeah, it's about passion.
Yeah.
Having something to say, something you want to share with the world.
It's like you've got this one idea, this burning passion,
Yeah.
and you want to get it out there.
And a book can be a really powerful way to do that.
Yeah. For bloggers, I
Yeah.
think a lot of times a book feels like that natural next step.
Right. You've been building this platform, you've been connecting with readers,
Yeah.
but maybe you want to go deeper.
Right. And there's something about a book that's different than just like a blog post or a
Absolutely.
social media post.
It's tangible. It's
Yeah.
something you can hold in your hands.
You can share it with people.
It's a legacy.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's about leaving your mark on the world.
It is.
And so I guess the question for our listeners is,
Yeah.
what is that one idea that's burning inside of you?
That you want to turn into a book.
What's that story that you want to tell? Tell us about it in the comments.
Let's hear it.
I want to know what books are brewing out there.
Yeah, we can all inspire each other.
And, the journey from blog to book, it's not always easy.
No, it's going to be challenging.
Yeah. But it's so rewarding.
It really is.
So if you have that dream, just go for it.
Yeah, take that leap of faith.
And we're here to support you every step of the way.
Absolutely.
That's it for this deep dive.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time.